If you guys want the fastest way to improve your aim, get some Control Freaks for cheap. Use code Goblin for 10% off and improve your aim today. Link in the description. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. In today's video, it's going to be another gun comparison. Today we're comparing two of the fast-firing, fast-killing assault rifles in this game, or I guess they're just called rifles. We have the STG44 as well as the M1941. Now these guns have insane rate of fires. I'm going to be breaking down the statistics of each of them, which one is better in each situation and why. Hope you guys will enjoy today's video. If you guys can, drop a like on this thing. I would very much appreciate seeing 2,000 likes. I just want to say thank you everyone for all of the support throughout this game's been out for like a month already, and I've been working my ass off, and I think you guys can see that. I've been doing multiple videos every single day, and that's going to continue because I know December is one of the most hype months. We're probably going to get in our first DLC, and it's going to be a lot of fun here. I'm having fun with this game, and I just appreciate all of your guys' support. You guys keep me motivated, and it's just amazing seeing all the likes, the comments, the subscribers. It really does take only half a second from you guys, and it really does make the YouTuber's day. It sounds dumb, but it literally does, because when people are putting so much work into this stuff, it just feels awesome. So I just wanted to say that I really do appreciate you guys, and that I'm going to continue working hard, and it means a lot when you see those comments saying like keep up the grind and stuff like that. So let's talk about this STG44. First of all, the first thing I want to point out is these are not the actual iron sights of the STG44. I have a Red Baron variant on it, which kind of makes them better. They're a little worse than this. STG honestly has some pretty bad sights, but with the variants you can sort of change the sights. Let's break down the statistics of the STG44 first, and then we'll go into the M19, and then we'll basically compare. So the STG44, 30 bullets it has to start. That's without extended mags. With extended mags, of course, you're going to get up to 45, and you have a 2.03 second reload. That is for the full reload time if you are completely out of ammo. So most of the time, it's not going to be taking near that long, because we rarely ever do full reloads, but that's just the stat people use to compare the actual reload time of those guns. As far as the damage with the STG44, it is pretty standard. Your bullets can do anywhere from 30 to 22 damage per bullet. So if we do a couple little quick maths on that, it means you're going to be killing people in 4 to 5 shots every single time. So there's not too much variant in the amount of bullets. Sometimes some guns will kill on a bunch of different bullet counts. This one is going to be a 4-shot kill or a 5-shot kill every single time, and of course that is depending on the range. Now with this STG44, the rate of fire on this gun is fairly strong, and that's one thing that does make it stand out compared to some of these slower firing ones. Like, I mean, the bar kind of fires decently slow. The FG42 definitely is a super slow firing high power one, but the STG42 or 44, sorry, I'm getting mixed up, there's so many different numbers here. STG44's rate of fire is it fires at 670 rounds per minute, which is actually a very, very strong assault rifle. It's a very good fire rate, especially for the recoil that this gun has. Very little recoil. You don't even need grip on this thing. I mean, grip can help, but it doesn't have too much recoil, and with that kind of fire rate, it is insane. Your time to kill on this gun, depending on the range, and this is of course if you hit 100% of your bullets, this is the minimum time to kill, will be between 0.27 of a second to 0.36 of a second, of course depending on the range. But I think that you can hit most of your bullets with this gun because it is fairly easy to control, and how I've always broken down the STG44 is that it really is your overall gun. It gives you that fast fire rate, that low recoil, easy to control, and it definitely is a very, very awesome gun. And in this gameplay, I was just going off with it, and I do like the Red Baron variant. Sometimes if you don't have any good variants for it, you might want to run a red dot on this thing, but that's definitely my opinions on the STG44. I think it is a very strong weapon. I just think that there's so many good rifles in this game that this one sort of gets overlooked, but you really can't overlook the fire rate and the ability that it has to time to kill people really fast. So the next gun here, M1941. Let's talk about this. The M1941, you're going to be having 25 bullets with the M1941 instead of 30 with the STG, and basically 25 would equal out to 37 when you have extended mags, which I highly recommend on this gun. As far as the reload time, it's honestly one of the most annoying things about this gun is that the reload time is very, very slow for a rifle. It is around around 2.5 seconds, so around half a second more than the STG44, and that is for a full reload, which really can get you caught sometimes, and it sounds like it's not that big of a deal, but it definitely is super noticeable and can actually lose you multiple gunfights because of that. As far as the damage with the M1941, we're looking at the exact same damage as we have with the STG, 30 to 22, so quick mass on that is the exact same as the STG. You're killing people in 4 to 5 shots every single time, depending on range. Now, the M1941, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, this gun is known for its Vesper-like fire rate. This gun fires literally like a monster, and the fire rate on this gun actually comes out at a whopping 800 rounds per minute, which is just redonkulous when it comes down to an assault rifle. That's like, if that's an SMG, that's fast firing, but for a rifle, this thing is the Vesper of rifles. That's what I like to call it, because that fire rate is so damn insane, and because of that insane fire rate with the same damage as the STG44, technically your time to kill, if you are hitting every bullet, is going to be faster with the M1941. Time to kill on this gun is looking at 0.23 of a second to 0.30 of a second, while the STG44 was 0.27 to 0.36. But that is, of course, if you're hitting every single bullet. So statistically, the M1941 is the faster killing gun, and 100% the M1941 is the better gun at close range. I don't think there's any debate about that. Now, where things come into play is your other factors here. I'm going to break down different factors. Number one is the amount of bullets in your gun, and basically in your magazine. Now, this one has less bullets by 5, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but when the fire rate is that much faster, you're running through those bullets a lot quicker as well, and that's why you're 100% forced to run a extended mags on the M1941. The M1941 is a great gun, but you need special attachments. You need extended mags. You basically have no choice about that. 100% you need grip, and these are two things you don't need on the STG. You don't need grip on the STG. You don't need extended mags. They help, but on the M19, I would 100% recommend them. And the third thing is that a red dot, with this M1941, the iron sights are pretty bad on this one. I mean, honestly, I'd say they're worse than the, I don't know, they're both pretty crappy. You can find some variants that make them a little bit better, but usually I've just run a red dot on this thing. It's probably worse variants there, or worse sights than the STG44. Plus the STG44 has those variants like the Red Baron, which really do help you out. And as far as the M19, looking through the variants, I have like 3 of them. None of them really change the sight. I mean, they change the sights a little bit, but it doesn't give you that big of an advantage where you still won't want to run a red dot. So you're kind of forced into those attachments with this gun. Now with the STG44, you have a lot more freedom, and that's why I say it's the more overall weapon. And the other reason is the M1941. Sometimes this thing is a laser beam, but sometimes the recoil is very, very all over the place and inconsistent. That's one thing that I have to say about this weapon, is that at close range, you're not going to get a better rifle. This rifle is perfect for a map like maybe, you know, Flak Tower, London Docks, where you're going to have to compete with SMG players and melt them. But when it comes down to long ranges, sometimes it'll fire super straight on a map like this, but sometimes it'll just bounce around, and it is definitely hard to control that recoil. With the STG44, you can basically expect very low recoil with that thing, and that's why basically the trade-off between these two weapons and which one is better. First of all, close range, M1941, 100% better. Long range, STG44, 100% better, simply for the fact that it's easier to control. And overall, it all depends on what you're going to want to do. These are two weapons that I really do love. I do think the M1941 has a place in this game, but it does take some time to get used to, and you know, to understand that recoil. And it's hard to understand because it's very inconsistent, but just to know to expect the unexpected. While the STG is a weapon that you can first pick up when you first get the game or whatever, give that thing a go, and it doesn't take much of a learning curve. So definitely long range goes to the STG, close range to the M19, and overall it just depends on the map at what you're trying to do. If you're sitting back more on a longer range map, STG is going to be the better fast firing weapon, and if you're up close, the M19 is going to be the best weapon. Now in this game, which one do I actually use more? Honestly, I probably end up using the M1941 more, for the fact that the STG sort of gets outclassed by like the bar. Even though like it has a much faster fire rate, a gun like the bar and the FG42, if you want to go long range, why pick the STG? You can just pick those ones. Of course, the STG's strength is that it also is stronger at close range than those other guns, especially the FG42 and the bar, because it has a faster fire rate. But it basically depends on if you want to go more long range, high damage consistency, you're going to want to lock in the FG42 or the bar. If you're going to want to go more, or the FG42, I guess you could say, is longer range. More mid-range stuff, you're going to want to rock in the STG44 or the bar, and more close-range stuff, you're going to want to pick the M19. This gun can be really, really fun to use and fun to play with because you can make enemies literally disappear with how fast you melt them. It definitely is a lot of fun, and I think it's kind of underrated, and more people should be using it. So that's my comparison of these two weapons. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys could drop a like on this thing, 2,000 likes would be awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, sub for a cookie, and don't looky. And that's about it, guys. I'm out. Peace.